he reared around, he saw that Ark's claws had hooked it. "It's too dangerous!" Ark yanked him backward. Ripples stared at Flutter, Shine, and Dart. "We can't leave them there!" "We have no choice." Ripple's blood ran cold as he saw defeat in his mentor's eyes. He turned and followed Ark's gaze. The two legs had thrown their webs over Flutter, Shine, and Dart. They were scooping up the tangled and struggling cats. Shine thrashed in their grip. Dash flailed in panic. Ripple's breath caught as Flutter's gaze, wild with terror, flashed toward him. Her mouth opened, but the monsters drowned out her shriek as the two-leg holding her turned and carried her away. "We have to do something!" Ripple could hardly believe what he was seeing. "There's nothing we can do." Ark's eyes were dark. "At least they're safe from the monsters now." Ripple stared at him. "What about the two legs?" "The two legs won't hurt them," Ark told him. "How do you know that?" Ripple demanded. His paws shuffled restlessly on the wall. A huge part of Ripple longed to launch himself toward Flutter and the two legs, to do something, anything, to bring her back to him. "They've left us food for seasons," Ark reminded him, "and never harmed us." "But you've heard the stories," Ripple pressed. "We all have. Cats who've been taken, families broken up, friends forced to live in two-leg dens and never let out." Ark met Ripple's gaze steadily. "We have to believe they'll be okay." "We can't just accept that we might never see them again." Ripple's heart was breaking. Flutter must be terrified. He couldn't let her face this without him. His throat tightened. He mustn't lose her. He loved her. She loved him. They'd planned a future together. "How can I live without her?" Ark's eyes glittered with alarm as a growl rumbled behind them. "Watch out!" A monster was rolling toward them, less than a tree length away. It lifted its spiked yellow paw and gave a warning hiss. Ripple leaped backward. Panic burst in his chest as his hind paw slipped. It shot downward. Rough bricks scraped his leg as he wobbled and began to fall. He clawed at the top of the wall, but there was nothing to grip as the weight of his hindquarters dragged him over the edge. He was startled by a sudden glimpse of sky, which seemed to roll over him as he fell through the air, past the wall, just brushing the steep grassy bank with his hind leg before falling into the river. He crashed through the water with such force that it knocked the breath from him. The river closed over his head, rushed into his ears, flooded his wide-open eyes. And still he kept falling, slower through the water, but deeper and deeper. Was there no riverbed to stop his fall? Would he sink forever? He thrashed, kicking out, wild with terror, unsure which way was up, wanting to breathe, terrified of gulping the water that was pressing on every side. His mind sparked with fear as blackness pressed at the edges of his vision. His paw struck something hard. A dark shape was floating above him. He snatched at it desperately before it could bob out of reach, and his claws sank into heavy, sodden wood. A log! Light shimmered through the water around it as Ripple dragged himself upward. Striking out with his other forepaw, he gripped the log more firmly and hauled himself closer. He broke the surface like a rabbit bursting from a burrow. Relief swamped him as, gasping for air, he heaved himself out of the water and scrabbled onto the log. It was wide enough to crouch on, rising and falling as it rode the current. Gripping tightly with every claw, Ripple coughed up water, his panic easing. But he wasn't safe. His eyes stung, and the world looked blurry and distorted. As his gaze cleared and he caught his breath, he looked back and saw the park wall.